Hello bowling fans and welcome back to continued coverage here at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters taking place at Samstown in Las Vegas. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Matt Cannizzaro. And holy cow, what a day already. We have our 2 rounds of the winners bracket in the books. We know our 16 players undefeated heading into tomorrow's second day of match play. We got to start trimming the field down. It starts in the elimination bracket right now. All matches on the lanes. Competitors who lost in the opening round looking to keep their tournament's hopes alive. 3-game matches, a total pinfall determines who advances. The lanes were re-oiled with the 41-foot condition being used this week at the Senior Masters. 41 foot the length. Just a hair over 29 mils for the volume using the Kegel ice oil. Kegel, the official lane maintenance provider of USBC Championship events. And a proud gold industry partner of USBC along with Storm, Hammer, and Columbia 300. Big thanks to the 4 of them for their continued support. We have matches going on across the 56-lane venue. You can follow along with live scoring. A few ways to get there: bowl.com/Senior Masters. You can click on the results banner right there at the top, or you can go into the description below this video here on YouTube. Scroll down a little bit, you can see it there. Live scoring bracket as well as our live scoring app, and then the tournament bracket as well. You can see the update of all the matches so far today. So still 64 players in the bracket. We're going to lose 16 of them after this round. We'll lose another 16 after the next round. We'll keep the cameras up and running. Should be a pretty quick turnaround as soon as we finish up. Behind lanes 19 through 22. Our featured pairs, our matchups: Jerry Sikora taking on Bill Nichols. And on 21 and 22, our 2017 Super Senior Classic champion, Ron Moore. Nearby North Las Vegas, Nevada, taking on Tim Sherlock. Tough break there for Jerry on the 10-pit. Vicious. But Ron Moore, last time we saw him on this pair of lanes, defeated Junichi Yajima of Japan in the title match of the SSC. Finding some redemption from 2016, one pair to the left on 1920. And he lost to Yajima in the title match. Ron made it to the stepladder finals at the 2016 Senior Masters. He's going to have a long run to do so here in 2017, getting knocked to the elimination bracket in the first round. But as we discussed during the break with Ron, definitely in shape to do so. Heard a little bit about his daily workout routine. And he's actually kept a track of all of his sit-ups that he's done since 1999.
I'm shocked that you guys live so far apart, but yet have the same workout regimen.
Yes, so very close, but Ron estimated about 550 sit-ups a day, right around 160 push-ups. He said that's on average. You know, some days you take it easy, just do 500 and 100.
Well, you know.
On other days, you know, after maybe a cheat day or something like that, you know, you gotta bump it up a little bit. But also had to. Folks are asking Ron who would be in better overall shape, him or Amleto, and that was also a very interesting conversation. So Always fun. You never know what you're going to hear as people prepare for the next round. So, but Ron, surely one of the good guys out there in the sport. And the hard work has paid off. 8 career PBA 50 Tour titles. Now can add a Super Senior Classic to that national title list. Moore connects for his first strike here. The opening round of the elimination bracket. Really a great run of senior events taking place here in Las Vegas. As we mentioned, the Super Senior Classic took place right here at Sam's Town just last week. We had the title match last Sunday, which headed straight into the USBC Senior Masters. And finally, coming up just after we conclude this event, some more Caves of the 2-pin in the Suncoast PBA Senior US Open, taking place at Suncoast. So that event won't be held here on Bowl TV, but you can watch the action unfold live on Extra Frame. So be sure to follow those guys, subscribe to that channel. Doing some good work out there. Extra Frame, a proud sponsor as well. The streaming channel of the PWBA Tour. So if you don't have enough fun watching bowling at the moment, you can actually watch 2 streams at once. Emil Williams Jr. in Lincoln, Nebraska for the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open. You can check out all of that on Extra Frame. Of course, we're here on Bowl TV. We hope you're able to spend time with both of us. Or all 3 of us, I guess. Nice cover there by Tim. Because there's 2 of us here and then the one guy in Lincoln, so 3's company.
I appreciate the inclusion in that hard-working group. I would say let's not put that out for a vote, though. Which one folks would rather watch? Because I have a feeling, no offense to you, Emil Williams Jr. would top that poll.
That's okay. I'm cool with that. The man does good work. Quality work should be rewarded.
Tim Sherlock trying to do some work, and a quality shot not rewarded there on lane 21. So he leaves the 9-pin. Ron Moore with the advantage as we near the halfway point here of our opening game. You guys still have a few days until the start of the Senior US Open, so they want to keep on bowling.
Best way to stay loose. Keep doing the thing. Here's Jerry Sikora, member of Team USA in 1996 and 1997. Comes in a little bit high, leaves the 4-pin. Taking a look at live scoring, Doug Becker over on 9 and 10, off to a strong start, 6 in a row against Billy Langford. He also had one of the 300s this week. Moore finds trouble in frame 6, 6, 7, 10. No trouble for Bill Nichols. He also bowled at the Super Senior Classic. Rolled one of the 2 perfect games in that event. Made his way to match play. He's had some momentum coming into the event here in 2017. Tim Sherlock takes the 3-pin lead through 7 of game 1. Bill Nichols still on cruise control, thinking 280 this game. Sikora bowling in a nice game, but running into a buzzsaw here in the early going. Ron Moore can take the lead back. He's able to connect for the double here. Be his second in game one. Does not get that one up the hill. .278, making Bella Vista, Arkansas proud. Bill Nichols. Great cover by Moore, but see the shaking of the head, disappointment of the execution on that opening shot. Question in the chat about Doug Becker. Pair of splits in the 7th and 9th frame. And there's a chance he could be ahead, and there's a chance he could be down to Billy Langford after game one. You can follow the results, however, frame by frame by using the live scoring app. Link to that is just below the video here on YouTube. You can see it in the description area. You can also find it bowl.com/Senior Masters. 278, 216 advantage. Bill Nichols over Jerry Sikora. Tim Sherlock delivers the strike in the foundation frame. Taking a look at the winner's side of the bracket. So I mentioned 16 players already done for the day. They've secured their 2 wins. They'll be back on the lanes tomorrow at 9 a.m. bright and early. Some of our featured matches will include on Bull TV. In 1920, we'll have John Chovanec taking on Andy Nyer. And on 21 and 22, Pete Weber taking on Scott Cray. Other matches taking place in the winner's bracket tomorrow morning. Norm Duke, who we saw shoot 782 in his second round win against Brian Cooper, taking on Tony Rodriguez Jr. Lenny Borsch Jr. will be taking on James Wallace. Mika Koivunemi taking on Walter Ray Williams Jr. Quite a matchup there. Daryl Dempsey and Roger Cossert going at it. Brian LeClaire and Eddie Graham. And finally, Junichi Yajima taking on Bob Learn Jr. Those players 2 steps closer to making their way to the finals of the winner's bracket. I'll make it into the final 2. Win your side, and you'll have the opportunity to guarantee a spot in Sunday's stepladder finals. S'more finishes up with 189. Sherlock delivers his first double clean here in the opening game. To get to 212. We have one more round after we finish up here. More elimination bracket matches. We'll actually leave the cameras on. It's supposed to be a pretty quick turnaround, about 20 minutes after this round finishes up. There will be no re-oil, so quick transition. Players will move to their next pairs. We'll get the lanes on for practice. We'll have another round and get the field down to a total of 32 players. So we started with 277 after 15 games of match play, or of qualifying, over 3 days. Field was brought down to the top 63 players, along with the defending champion, Pete Weber. After today, down to 32. So as you keep winning matches, the money gets better and better. Get closer and closer. To that coveted title. Chance at the $16,000 top prize as well. Tim Sherlock, 8-pin advantage over Ron Moore, 197 to 189. This is the opening round of the elimination bracket here at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters, taking place at Samstown. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Matt Cannizzaro. Be sure to keep an eye on bowl.com later tonight after we finish up for a recap story on all of today's action. And of course, keep an eye on social media as well, the Sport of Bowling USBC on Facebook and at USBC on Twitter. For everything Senior Masters. Another ball change there for Ron Moore. Lane 21 giving him the fits right now. Phil Nichols taking care of business here on 19 and 20. 6 for 6 after the 278 start. Not much Jerry can do at the moment. He's been bowling well, been around the pocket. Carey has not always been on his side. But staying out of trouble. 216 in the opener, but can't do too much except match strike for strike when competitor is just this locked in. 7 in a row. Question in the chat. Tish Johnson won her first match. And she lost in the second round to Bob Lynn Jr., so Tish will be back on the lanes in the next round in the elimination bracket. Let's see who will be getting next round here on Bowl TV. Looking ahead, 19 and 20, we'll get USBC Hall of Famer Sam Lanto taking on the winner of Scott Merritt and Ricky Schizler. The Schizler, there we go, match taking place on 13 and 14 at the moment. Lanto won his first match before falling in the second, so gets a extra round off here. In 21 and 22, Ernie Segura will await the winner of Paul McCordick and Mark Scroggins. This left lane continuing to give Moore some struggles. And thinking back to the Super Senior Classic, we had the stepladder finals on 21 and 22, and just starting off with an early 3-bagger. Moore left a washout in 21, which he was unable to convert. Actually had the opportunity to lock up the match on 21. Just knew he had to be a little bit slower on 21 and just kind of let the ball read and get there. So during that match, you saw a little more, I guess a little bit bigger opportunity to miss away on 22. Not sure how much of that would be the pattern, not sure. Topography, perhaps, obviously different pattern from event to event. But we will see what the adjustments are throughout the course of the match. call-in on the text direct line for an update in the Brian Goebel, John Burkett match from our good buddy Chad Newman. So Chad over on 39 and 40. Pretty close match so far. Looked like Goebel was up 13 after 1. And has added a few pins onto that as they hit the back half of game 2. Burkett found some trouble in the 3rd, 4th, and 6th frame. All splits. Was able to pick up the one in the 6th frame, however. Jerry bowling well. It's just run into a monster. Going to improve after 216 the first game. Going to get into 220s here. 229 with one more strike. Is at 445. Bill Nichols, however, going to be well over 500. With one to go, can get to 268 this game. Had a 278 in game 1. Ron Moore starting to see the shape he wants to see. It's gone through a few ball changes here, but finally has settled on one. Still heard 4 out of the last 5. 257. for Bill Nichols. 5:35 after 2. As a reminder, we're going to finish up here. Some pairs quicker than others. Great example here on our featured pairs, obviously with the 19 and 20 Ari Bean in game number 3. Hitting the home stretch of game 2 on 21 and 2, but as soon as the final shot is thrown, our tournament director, Damon Sirocco, will announce the end of this round and hopefully tell all the competitors we're going to be back here in 20 minutes for the next round. That's at least what the schedule says, so we'll leave the cameras on, so we'll just have a brief delay. We'll get everyone onto their next starting pairs. Practice will get underway. Then we'll be up for our final set of 3-game matches. Bill Nichols. Just found everything to match up here on 19 and 20. Right part of the lane, right equipment. Making the shots. question in the chat about Chris Barnes. He is not old enough to be competing in this event. The USBC Senior Masters open to any USBC member age 50 and older. Tim Sherlock held the slight advantage heading into game one, but some struggles. Records his first strike, kick off the 10th. Gonna have his work cut out for him. Ron Moore looking pretty lined up here. One of the few non-strikes for Bill Nichols so far this round. First strike in the 10th for Ron Moore. Puts him at least in the 220s. 237 still out there. Gonna have a pretty sizable lead heading into game number 3. Interesting matchup over on 7 and 8 between Ted Steichoff and our qualifying leader, Parker Bone III. Looked like it was a 498 to 460, the advantage for Parker heading into the final game. But Steichoff has started with 6 consecutive strikes. Looks like he just made it 7. Parker Bone can shoot a 267. Should still be enough for the win, but starting to get interesting down there. Steichoff 8 for 8.
All right, Aaron's going to head down yonder. We're going to hang out here behind our featured pairs with Sikora and Nichols, and Sherlock and Ron Moore. Obviously, Nichols in control here and on his way to a victory. Ron Moore trying to hold off Sherlock here and remain alive at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters. For all these players now, having lost in the opening round of match play, a long, long road to the stepladder. Not undone, not impossible. Just a challenging journey. Final frame coming up on 19 and 20. A lot of strikes being thrown to sped this match along. High scoring match down on 7 and 8 between Parker Bone and Ted Steichoff. That's where Aaron headed. Looks like Ted just got a nice break for his 9th consecutive strike. Parker Bone can get in the 260s this game. Scoring system's a little wacky out there, so hard to follow for some folks. But that is the nature of the Senior Masters. We've been saying it all day long, all day yesterday. Whether you're first or 64th going into the bracket, all that matters is that you got there. Doesn't matter if you're plus 700 or plus 7. Everybody is fresh for the start of match play. Even from 1 to 64, and as we saw this morning, being number 64 doesn't mean that you're not good. Parker Bone took on fellow Hall of Famer Brian Voss in an exciting opening round match. And number 64 beat number 1. Parker now quickly into the elimination bracket. Stykov with the front 10. So Ted up now. We'll know by the sound of the crowd. He got the 11th one. Over here, Bill Nichols finishes with 207 and 742. He's going to eliminate Jerry Sikora from the 2017 event. Stykov taking his time on the 12th shot. See if we can add his name to our list of 300 shooters. We've had 8 so far. And by the groans of the crowd, sounds like somebody was left behind on that final shot. Sikora finishes with 691, so a well-fought battle here. 742, 691. Stykov finishes with 299 and 759. Parker's going to step up and throw his final 3 shots here. So we're still at 8 perfect games. Long day of competition tomorrow. Other matches in progress. Paul McCordick in control against Mark Scroggins. Off to our left. Ron Moore still in control here against Tim Sherlock. Halfway through the final game. David Smith on the brink of eliminating Bruce Hall, the left-hander. Pretty exciting stuff here in some of our matches, and we've caught some great moments live on Bowl TV and on the official USBC Facebook page, Sport of Bowling USBC. Parker Bone, however, doesn't want to go home just yet. He squeaks out the win over Stykov, 765, 759. That included, looks like 3 strikes in the 10th frame to get there. So hard to tell on the live scoring there, some of the graphics, but final score undeniable, 765, 759. So Parker stepping up in the 10th. He got 774 shot at him this morning by Brian Voss. So the players really stepping up against Parker, averaging 255. But he's not having any of that. So Aaron is back, and just telling the folks out, the live scoring is a little misleading the way that it calculates everything up. But Parker stepping up and punching in the 10th and finishing off 267 to escape with a victory. His opponent's averaging 255 in 2 matches today.
That's crazy, Matt. But it's the Senior Masters. Everything and anything goes.
Well, you definitely have to play up to your competition. And if you're bowling against a guy who broke his own record in qualifying, chances are he probably had a pretty good look, and it's possible that that might continue. So if you don't bring the best that you have, then you're going to be sadly disappointed. Brian Voss brought the best that he had. Ted Stykov, nearly perfect in his attempt. Gave it everything, but Parker not ready to leave just yet.
Yeah, that match was 498 to 460 after 2 games, and then Ted did everything he could. Struck on the first 11, left a 10-pin on the full ball for 299. Sent a messenger actually across the deck to get that 10-pin in the 9th to keep it close, and did all he could do. Said, Parker, here's the number. You can toss the double. Tip my hat to you. That's exactly what happened. 2 great competitors, two classy fellows right there as well.
See, from here, again, the live scoring adding up a little bit wacky. But Parker's first shot in the 10th, it seemed more like, it's kind of nonchalant, a little fist pump, like, oh, well, if you look real quick at the scoring, this one's done. Good run, Parker, maybe next year. And then you look up 2 shots later, and that was a must-strike situation, and he calmly delivered it and realized that that wasn't really the important one. So while that was necessary, the second one, obviously you have to get the first before the second, but big shot, and didn't catch the celebration after that one, but I have a feeling he knew the math and knew the situation.
Yeah, he definitely made me double think everything I had because, yes, as you said, it was so nonchalant, but in the end, needed the double, got it. Great match. And now on for another round. Parker walking by there said he feels like he's got a bullseye on him right now. As you mentioned, Matt, his opponent's averaging better than 255 in 6 games so far today.
Well, Parker's bowled 21 games this week, averaging nearly 247, and he was 1 shot away from being eliminated from this event and just absolutely destroyed the competition. But again, the nature of this event is new life. Once match play starts, anything can happen, and anything is happening. But we've seen 2 Hall of Famers with Hall of Fame performances throwing clutch doubles when they needed to stay alive at this tournament.
Yeah, taking a look at the replay on the phone, those shots do not look like he really overthought him. Just another frame in another game, but yeah, obviously the importance of staying alive. And those two moments will be a bit of a longer video, since kind of got to show both 10th frames there. But we'll get that up on the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page between the break here. As we mentioned, we'll have a pretty quick turnaround at the conclusion of this round. So we've seen a 759 not be enough, 774 not be enough to win a 3-game match. But that's the nature of the beast. Ron Moore's going to win with 622. And the only important thing in the grand scheme of all that is whether you get the W or the L. 622, 514, Ron Moore with the victory. Tim Sherlock will be heading home in a tie for 49th place with 16 other competitors in this round who went 0-2 in match play. Well, folks, that's going to, I think, conclude action here for the time being. Oh, so got.
You've lied to the people, Aaron Smith.
I thought we were done. We weren't done. I knew if I don't hear Damon, then it's not done. But we gotten pretty quiet there for a second. But
a couple matches still going. Chuck Vashaw going to take down Dave Sirigliano, two Open Championship standouts. Getting things done here at the Senior Masters. But 16 players going home. And other match, it's getting awfully quiet in here. Sirigliano loses 686, 597. Chuck Vashaw moves on, but Emleto Monticelli and Louis Elting.
And Monticelli with a split in the 9th. We're watching live scoring now, so we're just, he was unable to convert. It's a little quicker here in real time than on live scoring, or I guess with the brief delay between YouTube and everything else, it might already be updated. Who knows? But what we do know, it's going to be a very, very close match heading into the 10th.
Well, a rundown of what we can see. Paul McCordick over Mark Scroggins, 707 to 575. We saw Ron Moore and Tim Sherlock. Scott Merritt over Ricky Schisler, 584, 550. I mentioned Vashaw over Sirigliano. That's all we've got left here on the live scoring.
Just going to say, if my math is correct, Lou Elting will have the opportunity to double in the 10th, shut out Emleto. I think double 8 would be enough to get to 572, which would be enough for a win. Now, what's the worst that can happen other than falling down? We'll see if we can somewhat get this. We're going to have that pillar in the way, but let's see if we, there's Lou. Looks like it crossed over. Sure, that's just a 10 pin up there. This means Monticelli will have the opportunity to double in the 10th to keep his tournament hopes alive. First things first. Elting does get the spare. Definitely not the ideal image, especially with the camera. Ha, just noticed that. It's like part of our setup here.
It's okay. Of all the pillars at Samstown Bowling Center, this is one of the best.
So Lou Elting can get to 563. With a strike, that was definitely not a strike. I'm not sure how much it was for sure. Count important here. If you get 8 or 7. Could be a brand new different ball game. Amleto not wasting any time getting up there. It was 561. Amleto needs to fill 20 to tie. Double to win. That looked like that was almost a 210.
It's 2-8 from here.
So first things first, it needs the spare. So got the spare. By all accounts, must strike to tie. Then we would have some type of roll-off situation.
I believe it's a 15-game roll-off for a tie.
Based off the applause of the crowd, I'm going to say he got it.
Should hear Damon on the mic here any minute.
Well, while we're doing that and waiting, we'll get a look about everyone in the crowd. Solid collection in attendance here. Do see Damon over there in the bowlers area, so it might be a roll-off coming up in the process. Not sure if we're going to get an official announcement.
We need some wireless headsets for events like this. We can just walk up and down the whole place. We never have to sit in the booth. Maybe a helmet cam?
Helmet cam would go a long way right now.
That'd be perfect. There it is. Let's check the budget for 2017, 2018.
Let's see, are we going to get any announcement? They're going to just start bowling? The suspense. Amleto would be the higher seed overall. So whatever the roll-off would be, he would get the lane choice, if you will, or finish choice. If you prefer to start or well, I see scoreboards up there now. So we'll head back to the lanes. Hey, there's our camera. There's Lou Elting. That sounded and looked like a pretty good shot right there. According to the scoring system, was a strike. So Amleto, by all accounts, needs to match. Otherwise, his tournament run will be over. Delivered the strike on the fill ball to make this happen. That looked like a no-doubter. So they will switch lanes now. For round number 2. That sounded like a no-doubter as well. Lou Elting keeping the pressure on. Makes it 2 for 2. Not making it easy on the Hall of Famer whatsoever. That is not a strike, so Lou Elting is going to get the win over Amleto Monticelli to conclude the opening round of the elimination bracket here at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters. So now we'll wait for Damon to make the official announcement. So you heard Damon there, 5:35, so that's 12 minutes from now. Practice will be starting up. And we'll be bowling for score, 5:45 for the second round of elimination matches here at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters taking place at Sam's Town in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Aaron Smith alongside Matt Cannizzaro. We'll be right back here with the next round.
14 and 20 flip-flop.
All right, back in business at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters. This was the second round of the elimination bracket. Featured matches include 19 and 20, Scott Merritt taking on USBC Hall of Famer Sam Lanto. And our 2016 runner-up, Paul McCordick, taking on Ernie Segura. The lanes were not re-oiled before this block. They were re-oiled the one prior to. So this is the burn round, if you will, this 41-foot condition. For Lanto and Segura, they've had the last round off. They had won their first match, lost in the second round of the winner's bracket. For Merritt and McCordick, they are fresh off victories after losing in the opening round. Once again, continuing with the theme, 3-game matches with total pinfall determining which player makes it to the next round, keeps their tournament hopes alive. After this round, we'll be down to 32 players, 16 in the winner's bracket, 16 in the elimination bracket. That will actually conclude our coverage for today. appreciate everybody tuning in over the course of today. And if you happen to miss anything, you can always check out the archives here on Bowl TV. The live streams archive pretty quickly after the conclusion, so you can go and watch the opening round where Pete Weber needed 2 strikes in the 10th to secure the victory over, nice cover there, Scott Merritt, to record the victory over Robert Worrell in the opening round. Had a lot of excitement today, a lot of big scores. Sure, check out the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page and at USBC on Twitter for some of those moments that may have not been on the Bright Lights Bowl TV. All right, just posted a video on the Sport of Bowling USBC Facebook page with a great finish to that Parker Bone III Ted Stuykoff match last round. Get to see both of their 10th frames. 765 to 759. Parker moves on to the next round. His opponents so far today, 774 and 759. Shot against our #1 seed, who for the second consecutive year has set the 15-game qualifying record. Which last time I checked is pretty darn impressive. With that being said, Parker walked by us afterwards, kind of joking, saying, "Who put the bullseye on my back?" Everyone's gunning for him, and now facing off against Hall of Famer Mark Williams. Williams not taking it easy either. 7 out of the first 8. Parker has 6 out of the first 8. 20-pin advantage to Williams. Same Lanto. Nearly runs into trouble for a second consecutive frame. Gets the 10-pin out to avoid the split. USBC Hall of Famer started off his 2017 Senior Masters with an 8-10 series to kick off qualifying. Segura and McCordick just about knotted up here. Nice shot from Merritt to set up frame number 10. Down 23 here in the early going.
it looks like now that we're getting to the end of a very long day of competition and down to our elimination bracket, the crowd has thinned out a little bit compared to earlier this morning. I have no doubt that tomorrow when we hit the next round of the winners bracket, 9 a.m., we'll see some more folks in town. It's probably dinner time for a lot of people already. You look pretty famished yourself. I'm sure you'd enjoy some dinner at this point, but one more round. A little bit of rest for all the competitors. Sam Lanto looking for a reason to need some rest tonight. Just the first hit in the 10th. He can get to 244 here in this opening game. Two great shots for the animated Lanto, so he'll be in the 240s with good count. Paul McCordick trying to finish strong here and not fall too far behind in the opening game. As he snaps out the 7 for the first hit in the 10th. He can get to 203.
A few miscues on spare shooting for Paul in this game. Otherwise, be a little bit closer.
Did hear some talk throughout the building earlier, just about some of the great spare shooters we have here, and even in our lower scoring matches, spares become increasingly important. And the top guys like Walter Ray and Pete Weber, Norm Duke, they don't miss spares. Norm Duke even picked up the 410 earlier to stay alive against Michael Haugen. Put the pressure on Haugen and ended up coming out ahead. So I think that's pretty much the old adage, especially as you get in the big situations. And a lot of times it's going to come down to that spare, that single pin, or that's going to be the difference even, especially over a long period like 15 games of qualifying.
Great points there, Matt. Someone not shooting too many spares today. Our Parker Bone III's opponent. Mark Williams electing not to take it easy on PB3 either. Down in the match, but 258 to 245. So nothing coming easy for the top seed today. Of course, Mark Williams certainly no slouch. Fierce competitor. Hall of Famer. So would expect nothing less in another matchup of Hall of Famers. So we've gotten to say that quite a bit, haven't we?
Well, some great players. Again, there's a reason why they're Hall of Famers, and bowling is one of those sports, probably the sport, where it doesn't matter how old you are, anybody can do it. And these guys, some of them getting better with age even. We talk about Ron Moore a lot. He didn't even join the PBA Tour until he was in his 50s.
Lanto getting really lined up here. Of course, a lot of success at the USBC Open Championships for Sam. few titles with the Linz Lakers group. Merritt gets the late hit. For those of you wanting to follow other matches, we do have live scoring available throughout the house here at Samstown. You can find the link in the description area below the video here on YouTube. Or if you like, you can go to bowl.com/Senior Masters. Ernie up 222 to 193 against Paul McCordick. Looking for an early double. Add a few more pins to that margin. Nothing but strikes on 19 and 20. We've seen this before today. An epic match between Pete Weber and Chris Warren. Final tally ended up being 781 to 774, including a game 2 where both competitors started off with 8 consecutive strikes. Warren missed in the 9th frame, ended up shooting 279. Weber finished it out for a 300. Merritt definitely can create some power with his release. Nice cover there, Paul McCordick. All right, appears we have an 8-pin missing for Sam Lanto, so we'll Reset, get a fresh group of 10. And McCordick finds the right combination in the third. Makes a ball change. Gets them all to tumble.
right, so I just stepped out for a minute. Came back. Aaron Smith is gone. Appears that Brian Kretzer was making a run at 300. Here comes Aaron Smith now. I have a feeling it did not end well for Mr. Kretzer, other than having a huge advantage in his match against Hugh Miller. Looks like 289 for Kretzer. It's 521 after 2 for Brian, and 442 for Hugh Miller. So 80 pin swing there. Going into game 3 of do or die for these gentlemen and lady.
Sam Lanto looking for back-to-back 244 games. That ball change working out pretty well for Paul McCordick. He's thrown 5 out of the last 6. And just to do something different, 243. Lanto ridiculously consistent here in round 2 of the elimination bracket. 244, 243. Scott Merritt, a few miscues on single pins. You get the 215 with all 3 in the 10th. He's going to have some work to do in game 3. It's going to make it a little bit more now. So 95 pins, excuse me. Pins the advantage. For Lanto heading into game 3. Ernie crumbles it in to kick off the 10th frame. Held a 29-pin lead. Paul McCordick making ball change. Has found the right look. In position to have that lead flip in his favor. Segura in the books, 188. 410 total. Trouble for McCordick, but almost turns it into a strike. And Paul McCordick will hold the lead heading into game 3. Our runner-up here in 2016 fell to Pete Weber in the title match. Weber, as a top seed in the true double elimination format, had to be defeated twice. McCordick won the first game and put Weber on the brink. Ended up falling 266 into 263 in that title match. Paul finished just shy of the stepladder finals at the Super Senior Classic just a few days ago. Now holds a 17-pin lead with 1 to go. Looks like a great match brewing on 43 and 44. Brian Voss and Brian Goebel both striking away. Voss leading with 476, Goebel at 464. Both have started with an early double. Once again, 43 and 44 the lane there. Nice cover there by Scott. As we mentioned earlier, this will conclude our coverage here on Bowl TV after we finish up this game, but plenty of bowling coming up this weekend. Match play will continue until we are down to our final 5 competitors for the stepladder finals here at the USBC Senior Masters tomorrow. Then our 5 stepladder finalists will be back on the lanes Sunday. So we determine a champion here, of course, on Extra Frame. The guy himself, Emil Williams Jr., bringing you the action from the Pepsi PWBA Lincoln Open, taking place in Lincoln, Nebraska. So bowling, if it's what you want, it's what you're getting. Just another 780 for Parker Bone III.
That's it? What's he doing down there?
784 it looks like. He's going to record the win over Mark Williams. Mark can get to 696, so that collective average against Parker is going to drop a few pins, but has needed a lot of strikes.
Mark Williams bringing down the opponent average against Parker Bone here. Previous matches of 774, 759.
Paul McCordick has increased his lead against Ernie Segura. Here by just staying clean through 4. Sam Lanto on cruise control here, just filling frames, doing what he needs to do. So he moves on to the next round.
Aaron's had some pretty good support online these past couple days. Certainly appreciate everybody tuning in. Nearly 500 for this elimination round. It's time to start the weekend. Folks still want to hang out with us in the top USBC members age 50 and older. Doing their thing here at the Senior Masters.
Looks like Tish Johnson is going to continue on to tomorrow. Finish it with 260 to get to 732. She's going to eliminate Kurt Rasnick.
Players coming back tomorrow. Does that sound right?
No.
No.
32.
32. We just got rid of some more in our second round.
It's not that we wanted to get rid of them.
We just didn't have it. That's it. Just be blunt.
And them the rules.
Thing we have the entire bracket available on bowl.com to see who's in and who's out. 2 helpful pages.
It looks like we might have an opportunity at another tie on 51 and 52. Mark McCreary, I believe, can double his final 2 shots in the 10th to match Marv Sargent. 635. Dana Wright is going to eliminate Jeff Suma. Brian Goebel still striking away on 43 and 44. We may have to run down there in a second if he gets the 1 in the 8th.
Are you gonna run?
I would probably not even walk briskly. I feel we got this down pat enough to where we got it under control. Goebel did not strike in frame number 8. So there will be no walking or sit-ups at the moment. Chuck Fashaw, I believe the only other player working on a string of strikes. That's over on 33 and 34 in his match against Chris Warren. Boy, that would be a tough break. Possibly have 2 300s shot at you in one day. So Doug Becker got the first strike in the 10th against Mike Scroggin. Scroggy in the books with 657. Looks like Becker's going to need the double to advance to the next round. Already got the first one in the 10th. And they split in the 9th frame. And Becker is going to catch a break. I don't know if you saw that on 16, to the far left of your screen, but ran a bunch high. Had something kick across the deck and take out the 4-pin. So now just needs to get a pin or two here, and he's going to get the win. Does so. Take him any way you can get him. As taking a glance at the story that's going to be up in a little bit. Even Pete Weber says you gotta get lucky at this tournament. So take the hits when you can get them. And party on. Looks like Marv Sargent holds off Mark McCreary. Chuck Fashaw up to 7 consecutive strikes in a row. It looks like he did not connect in frame number 8. See the world famous Sponge Bob Spareball. That's going to be a pretty close match going into the 10th. So Brian Goebel and Brian Voss. Looks like Goebel will have the opportunity to mark with good count to take the win on 43 and 44. Voss putting some pressure on, delivering 4 in a row from the starting in the 8th frame. Let's see if he got the fill ball too. Count pretty important there. Scott Merritt in the books with a 583. So Brian Voss strikes out last 5 for 243, 719 total. I think Brian Goebel saw.
Thanks, Dad.
Based off the reaction, way down there, from what we could see, it looked like Goebel connected for a strike. Start the 10th. Once again, just need mark and good count. Sneak by Brian Voss. So Goebel will just need 8 pins in his final 2 shots. Ryan Schaefer is going to win against Dave Sill. Bill Nichols, 665 to 577 over Brian Cooper. Close match between Ron Moore and John De Benedetta. Moore can wrap it up. Paul McCordick is going to be a winner against Ernie Segura. Holy cow. Back-to-back opens for Chuck Fashaw after starting with 7 in a row. Will make for a highly contested 10th frame against Chris Warren. Warren's going to be down 9 heading into the 10th. So can definitely put some pressure on. Got the first strike. Looks like Warren did deliver the double. Count very important on that fill ball. Strike would get Warren to 668. That means Fashaw would need a double. If he filled 20, it would be 667. 652. $650 to 610. Paul McCordick comes back after the deficit in game 1. Looks like Chuck Fashaw got at least the first strike in the 10th. Setting up another pressure-filled situation here at the 2017 Senior Masters. We'll get this update and then we will sign off for the day. Fashaw up on the approach now. In what we believe is a must-strike situation. Looked like it was good. Based off the reaction as well. Looks like Chuck Fashaw is going to send Chris Warren home in a tie for 33rd. And we're going to go home because it's the end of the day. So today's competition here, a lot of excitement, a lot of big scores, a lot of drama. All has come to an end. And now all we gotta do, write the story, post it. You can check it out on bowl.com a little bit later tonight as well. Facebook and social media, The Sport of Bowling USBC, and at USBC on Twitter. We'll be back here at Samstown, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. local time, for day 2 of match play at the 2017 USBC Senior Masters. I'll let Matt Cannizzaro say what Matt Cannizzaro says to wrap up the show, because he does it way better than I do.
All right, folks, so we appreciate everybody tuning in today and throughout the week. Qualifying match play and things continuing to be exciting here at Samstown Bowling Center. It was a pleasure sitting next to Aaron Smith for the last 12 hours of the day. Looking forward to heading over to the Open Championships now to see what's going on over there. But we'll be back here bright and early, as Aaron mentioned, tomorrow at noon Eastern for the next rounds of match play, winners bracket and elimination bracket. Taking the lanes at that time. It's been a pleasure bringing this to you live from Las Vegas, and we'll hope to do it again for all of you and all your friends tomorrow. Folks, that is the news for now, and we'll see you on the lanes.